have any brothers?
Blaze.
Elijah and Blaze. Who are not with us tonight. They're at the Cardinals game. Forgive them. Yeah, forgive them. But I tell you what, I was getting out of our truck out there, and I said, oh my gosh, I was looking down at the seat, and my younger boy left one of his 5 or 6 knives right there in the seat. I was like, maybe I'll leave that in the truck. So here we are. Should we introduce Mama? Should we introduce Mama? You want to say something else? Oh, you're going to go ahead. You want to say something? Say hi. She's been looking forward to this all afternoon. Let me introduce to you now my number one gal. Do you know, last week it was 14 years of marriage for us. Yeah! I'm a lucky guy. I will tell you, when I first brought home Erin, the first time I brought her home, I've got a younger sister, and my younger sister did to me what younger sisters do. She looked at me and she said, man, that Erin, she is amazing. Why is she dating you again? She said, you better ask that girl to marry you quick. And so I did, and when Erin said yes, I said, can we get that in writing? And I said, can we get that wedding done quick? We've been married 14 years now, and I will just tell you, she is the Lord's greatest blessing to me in my life. It is an incredible privilege to wake up every day with her, to be on this great adventure of life with her, to be following the Lord with her and raising our family together. Would you join me in welcoming my better half, my partner, my soulmate, Erin Hawley? I'll take you words there.
Thank you.
You bet.
Oh, you get
You bet. You're good with Mama?
First of all, just thank you so much for being here. This is such an exciting time, such an important time for our country and for our state, as each of you know. And I've shared this story before, but when Josh was first approached to run for Senate 6 years ago, I was not enthused. So we had just done a statewide campaign as Josh ran for Attorney General. He was doing fantastic work there, suing the big tech companies, suing the pharmaceutical industry, and people, given his good work, approached him and said, hey, we need a good senator. Would you consider running? And Josh didn't jump at it. He didn't say yes right away. We prayed, we talked, we prayed some more. I may have cried. But when it came down to it, the question that we both asked ourselves, we had these 2 little boys. We had them, to support and care for. But more than that, when they're grown, when Abby's grown, we wanted to be able to look at them and said we did what we could. Amen. We stood in the gap. And Josh has done that so well for me and for youth fighting for Missouri in the Senate. There's no one that asks questions like him. That's And I, for one, am just so grateful that he represents us, that he represents Missouri so very well.
Can you give a round of applause to my wife, Erin Hawley? I tell you what, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. And I'm so blessed to be here with you tonight. We are here tonight on a mission. And that mission is really simple. This is it. What we have to do between now and November, and then in the days and the weeks and the months and the years after that, it's really simple. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to save this country. That's what we're here to do, to save this country. Because let's just be honest. If I could just give it to you straight tonight. Shall we do that? Let's just tell the truth tonight. Because we get so many lies out there. We get so much falsehood that is pushed down our throats every day. Let's just tell the truth. The truth is our country's in crisis. The truth is our great country, greatest country in the history of the world, is in serious, serious trouble tonight. As we stand here right now, down on our southern border, it is wide open. As we stand here, thousands and thousands of illegal immigrants are pulling across that border, pushing across that border, streaming across that border. And what's happening? They're bringing their drugs here into Missouri. They're bringing them into every school, every church, every county across this state, across this country. It is an absolute. And who's running it? The cartels are running it. The cartels are trying to invade this country, the largest human trafficking ring in American history, because of what they are doing. You look at what's happening right here at home. This administration, the crazy left, they've shut down energy production in this country. Can you afford gas? No. Can you afford groceries? No. That's because of what these people have done to this country. They are making China rich and America poor. They are sending our jobs to China. They're sending our energy to China. They want us to buy our stuff from China. They're buying up our farmland. China now owns more and more of our farmland. And what is the left doing about it? Just encouraging it and encouraging it and encouraging it. They're telling our kids, they're teaching our kids that America is a racist place, that America is an evil place, that we were founded in 1619. Have you heard that one? It's such a lie. We weren't founded in 1619. They say our country is founded on slavery. I beg to differ. Our country is founded on the truth of the Bible. Our country is founded on this fundamental truth, that each of us was created by our Creator, not by government, and given inalienable rights by our Creator, not by government. That's the truth. This is not a nation of oppressors. This is a nation of liberators, and we're proud of that. And we're proud of our history, but that's not what they're teaching our kids. And they're teaching our kids to hate this country. They're teaching our kids to hate our values. They're teaching our kids to hate themselves. They're telling them that if they're a boy, they should be a girl. If they're a girl, they should be a boy. I mean, it's a crisis. And listen, we need to be clear about who is responsible for the trouble that we're in. It doesn't give me any pleasure to say it, but it's just the truth. We are in this crisis because of people like my opponent in this race, Lucas Kunce, and his friends. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi, these people who for 4 years and more have held the power in this country, the White House, the Congress, many of our courts, and they have shoved their agenda down our throats. We didn't want it. We didn't vote for it. We don't support it. They have made us take it. And ladies and gentlemen, in November, we get the chance to say, no more. In November, we take back our country. Yes! It's coming. The time is coming. Now, let me just introduce you to my opponent in this race, Lucas Kunce. You may not have heard much about him. He doesn't spend a whole lot of time around here. But let me just tell you a thing or two about him. And as I do, I'll invite you to this. If you like what he's for, then you can say yeah. But if you don't like it, then say no, okay? All right, let's just run through a little bit of his record here. Number one, he's been running for office for the last 20 years. He spent 20 years running for office. You like that? No. Or what? I mean, he is truly a career politician. This is a guy, by the way, he's a young guy too. I mean, he's been running for office since he was 24 years old. Unbelievable. Got out of college, started immediately running for office. Just one of those guys who just knew that he should be in office somewhere for some reason, right? This is a guy who, by the way, says he loves living in Washington, D.C. He told a newspaper not long ago, I love being in D.C. I get to go to fancy events and parties and stuff. Well, I tell you what, he ought to just stay in D.C. Don't come to Missouri, right? I mean, just stay there. Listen, here's what he's for. Here's what he's for. Lucas Kunce says that a border wall is wrong. He says that a border wall is racist. He wants no wall. He wants open borders. He wants as many illegals in this country as possible. Do you agree with that? No! Is that good for Missouri? No! Is that good for America? No! 15 million illegals in the last 3 years. 15 million. And Lucas Kunce not only has opened the doors for them to come in, he wants to give them amnesty. Are you for that? No! Is that good for Missouri? No! Is that good for your family? No! You want to know why housing prices are so high? Because we've got so many illegals. You want to know why our wages are so low? Because we've got so many illegals. You want to know why crime is so high? Because right here in this city, in this region, we've had illegals stab people to death. We've had them mow over young people. Travis Wolf, young man, killed, mowed down by an illegal, all across this state, all across this country. Laken Riley, you name it. Kunce is for all of that. And I tell you what, it gets even worse. Lucas Kunce wants you to pay for these illegals' health care. Oh, I'm serious. He wants to give them gold-plated health care. My guess is you probably can hardly afford your health care. Under these people, you can't even afford your prescription drugs, but Lucas Kunce wants you to shell out your cash to pay for gold-plated health care and their benefits. Is that a good idea? No! Do you support that? No! I tell you what, it is totally, totally nuts. It's nuts, but it's Kunce. I tell you what, let me give you some more of his record. Here is what Lucas Kunce wants to do for you and your ability to drive your own cars and trucks. Anybody own a pickup here? Yeah. Anybody drive a tractor? Yeah. Anybody ever been in a combine? Oh, yeah. Anybody farm? Oh, yeah, we're a farming state, amen? I tell you what, here's Lucas Kuntz's great idea for our economy. Here's what he wants to do. He wants to eliminate all oil and gas from the United States economy. Eliminate it. Eliminate it. He says we need to get rid of all fossil fuels. He wants to shut down American energy production 100%, including the energy we produce right here in the state of Missouri, including the energy our farmers farm and the fuels they blend. He wants to shut it all down. So I just tell you this. If you've got a pickup, if you've got a tractor, if you've got a trailer, you just go ahead and give your keys to Lucas Kuntz right now, because that's what he wants. He's got his hand out. He says, give it to him. Is that a good idea? No. Is that nutty? Yeah, really, really nutty. It's weird. It's crazy. It's crazy. I tell you what that would do. Boy, you want to empower our opponents. You want to give the Chinese an advantage. Just do that. What he wants is, he wants us to buy our energy from China. He wants us to buy solar panels from Chinese slaves who are paid nothing, taking our jobs, taking our wages. He wants us to buy wind turbines made in China. He wants to shut down our auto production. I mean, if we can't have cars and trucks, we can't produce anything. He wants to shut it down here in the state of Missouri, shut it down in the United States of America, and have us buy everything from China. Is that a good idea? No. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. He would leave every farmer in this state stranded. He'd leave you out in the field. You couldn't plant. You couldn't harvest. We couldn't have any food independence. We'll be buying our food from Brazil, from China, from Venezuela, from Russia, and every other place that hates us all across the country, all across the world. That's what Lucas Kuntz wants. And if you think your gas is too high now, just wait till there's no gas at all. If you think our unemployment rate is too high now, just wait until our farmers can't farm, till our workers can't go to work, till our factories shut down. I'm telling you what, it is nuts, but it's Kuntz. Would you help me out with that one? It is nuts, but it's... Oh yeah, let's try it again. I mean, it is nuts, but it's... Oh, it's Kuntz. It's Kuntz. I tell you what, do we have any law enforcement or former law enforcement in the building tonight? Would you raise your hand if you are here all over this place? Thank you. Thank you. We love you. Thank you. We love you. We are thankful for you. We support you. I tell you what, our law enforcement do not get the credit they deserve. They don't get the wages they deserve. They don't get the support they deserve. And Lucas Kuntz wants to take even that away. Here's his next nutty thing. Lucas Kuntz says that the cops shouldn't be protected. He wants to allow the criminals to sue the cops. Oh, I'm serious. Do you think that's a good idea? No. Would that make you more safe? No. Would that make your kids more safe? No. Would that make our country more safe? No, it's crazy. It's nuts. He says, if you wear that badge, you know that the badge that our law enforcement put on, it says to the criminals that they've got the authority to stop what they're doing, right? But the badge also says that we support the cops. What that badge means is we're all in this together. What that badge means is if you come after a cop, we're going to come after you. That's what that badge means. Kuntz wants to take away the power of the badge and say if you're a criminal who doesn't like how he was treated, if you're a criminal who got spoken to in a stern voice, if you're a criminal who got, oh my gosh, he just pinched my shoulder when he put me in my squad car to stop all the looting and burning, he wants the criminal to sue the cops. He also said this. He has said that the defund the police agenda is progress. Progress for who? For the criminals, for sure. For Missouri, not hardly. Defund the police, are you for that? No. Is that good for us? No. I'll tell you what, it's nuts, but it's... Oh yeah, it is. It's nuts, but it's 100%. I'll give you one more. I could go on all night. I'll give you one more, one or two more. How about this one, our kids? You met my beautiful baby girl, 3 years old. My daughter, my only daughter. I've got 2 boys and my baby girl. I see so many little kids, little girls all over tonight. Do you know that Lucas Kuntz wants our daughters to have men in their locker rooms? He wants to say to every school and every church in this state, in this country, that you have to allow men into the spaces where your wife is, where your girls are, where your granddaughters are, where your nieces are, And if you say, oh, we don't agree with that, we don't believe in that, he wants to use the power of government to force you to do it. He wants to use the power of government to force men into women's sports. Do you agree with that? No. Have anybody seen the Olympics recently? Have you seen that boxer? The male boxer who's been pounding on the women? I mean, just ruined. That will be every sport in this state if Lucas Kuntz has his way. Would that be good for your daughters? No. Would that make them safe? No. I tell you, my wife mentioned that from time to time in the Senate, I like to ask a question or two. Somebody's got to ask them, right? You know? So not long ago, I was in the hearing, a Senate hearing, and we had some folks come before us, and they were supposed to be talking about women's rights. Now, you think if we're going to talk about women's rights, we talk about protecting women's sports, protecting women's spaces, protecting women's locker rooms, but no, that's not what these guys want to talk about. I noticed that their star witness, who's a very bright person, I might say, a bright woman, a professor at the University of California, Berkeley. Yeah, where my opponent should just go live. You know, I mean, he'd fit right in out there. This professor, when she was testifying, I noticed after a while, she would never say the word woman. I was listening to this for like an hour, and she would never say the word woman. This is a hearing on women's rights. Never said the word woman. Instead, what she said is, people with a capacity for pregnancy. Serious. I had to write it down on my notepad. I was like, people with a capacity. I started keeping a tally. How many times did she say people with a capacity for pregnancy? How many times did she say the word woman? By the time it got to me to ask questions, she said woman 0 times, and that other thing like 20. So I said to her, listen, professor, just help me understand something. Maybe I just don't get it. When you say people with a capacity for pregnancy, do you mean women? And she looked at me. I mean, my mother was a public school teacher, so I know that look. I mean, she gave me this look. She drew herself up in her chair, intake of breath, and she says, Senator Hawley, I would just like to point out the transphobic nature of your question. Serious. And I was like, first of all, I'm not sure I know what that means, but I'm pretty sure she's calling me a bigot. I think I got that. So I said, well, hold on. You're saying what, that I'm bigoted because I'm asking if women get pregnant? I mean, is that it? She says to me, she said, can I ask you a question? I said, sure, go ahead. She said, do you think men can get pregnant? No, she was serious. I thought she was kidding. She was serious. So I looked at her and I said, no, I do not think men can get pregnant. And she said, see, you are transphobic. And I said, see, you're crazy. I mean, this is nuts. It's nuts. Let's be honest. There are not 200 genders. There are not 2,000 genders. There are 2, male and female. And the way God made you is good. It's good to be a woman. It's good to be a man. My gosh, the idea that these people would come into our schools and tell our kids behind our backs as parents that there's something wrong with them, that they need to be on hormone treatments and puberty blockers, that they need to have these surgeries, that they've got to have boys in their sports. It's absolutely nuts. And my opponent and his friends are for it, and they are shoving it down our throats across this country, and they want to do it here in the state of Missouri. Are you going to stand for that? No. Are you going to put up with that? No. It is absolutely nuts, but it's nuts, but it's goons. It's goons. It's goons. I'll give you one more thing. Right here in this area, St. Louis, St. Charles, for years, the federal government has poisoned the air, the water, the soil, Coldwater Creek. You know what I'm talking about? Westlake Landfill, Weldon Spring. They've lied to you for years. They said there was no radiation in the water. They said it was 100% clean. They said it's totally fine. Let your kids play in the creek. Let them drink the water. Let them go to schools. Many of you grew up there or had relatives who did. And now we've got the highest rates of cancer in the nation right here in this area. Right here. Childhood cancer, breast cancer. The federal government has lied for years. What has Lucas Kuntz done about it? Nothing. What does he want to do with your money? He wants to spend money in Ukraine, but not in St. Louis. He wants to protect Ukraine's borders, but not ours. I just say this. It is time to invest in the United States of America. Right here. Right here. No more foreign wars until St. Louis is clean. No more foreign wars until St. Charles is clean. We've had enough. And isn't it typical of these people? They want to fly the flag of other countries. They care about other countries when right here at home, we are suffering and we are in need. I tell you what, this idea that we would fund some other nation and pay their payrolls of their bureaucrats while we can't even drink our water, it is nuts, but it's skunks. It's skunks. Well, I'll just tell you this. Given all of that, and believe me, I could go on. Well, I was just getting warmed up. Given all of that, you would think that my opponent would absolutely leap at any chance to defend that record, because that's quite a record. I mean, what his friends have done to this country, that's quite a record. So listen, I've done him a favor, big favor. He got nominated on Tuesday. On Tuesday night, as soon as the Democrats chose him, I went out and I issued a statement and I said, Lucas, I tell you what, I got an idea. How about come next week, the Missouri State Fair, you and I debate one-on-one. Let's debate. Lincoln Douglas style, because I figure, hey, if it's good enough for Abraham Lincoln, probably good enough for us. One-on-one, no filters, no moderators, no fancy TV studio. We'll just be there in a trailer in front of the people. And what we'll do is, Missouri Farm Bureau offered to sponsor it, which is fantastic, in front of everybody who's at the state fair, anybody who wants to come, all these guys in the press. We'll just stand there, 5 minutes for opening statements, and then we'll just take questions from the crowd. And we'll just go back and forth, 75 minutes. How about that? I said to Coombs, come on, man. Now listen, given his record, he ought to send me a thank you card. I mean, I am giving him a golden opportunity. Do you know what he said to me? Do you think he said yes or no? He said no. He said, oh, no, let's do another debate some other time. No, let's do it somewhere else. No, I want to do it in a TV studio. No, I want a moderator. He pranced over here and flitted over here. Oh, no. Listen, I just say this, Lucas, man, if you're watching, come to Sedalia, debate me, one-on-one. Let's do it. Heck. I'll give you this. I'll even let him go first. I'll let him go first. You know, his latest thing was that he said, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I mean, the Missouri Farm Bureau, we can't debate a bunch of farmers. I mean, what, the Farm Bureau? No, they can't host this thing. I'm like, man, if you don't want to talk to farmers in Missouri, you're in the wrong state, brother. I mean, hello. All I have to say is this. I will be there next Thursday. I will be there and be waiting for him, and I hope he shows up. Come on down, Lucas. Come on down. You know, this is, it's quite a time for our country. It's quite a moment for us as a nation. And sometimes, as my wife alluded to, I don't know about you, sometimes it's easy to get discouraged. And you see what they've tried to do to our beautiful country, and you see what they're trying to do to us. They're taking away our freedoms, our right to speak, our right to worship, our right to raise our kids as we see fit. You see those things under threat. You think, how can this happen? Is this still our country? And I just want to say this. We may not live in quiet times. I'm pretty sure that when you look back years from now and you tell the story of this time to your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, what you will not say is, oh, the 2020s, nothing went on that time. You know, it was quiet. It was quiet years. You will not say that. But what you will say is, in a time of consequence, in a time that mattered, I took a stand for my country. In a time when our choices could shape the direction of this country for 50 and 60 years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, at a time when our choices will determine whether we have a country in 50 or 60 years, this is our time. Our country needs us now. It needs our courage now. It needs our boldness now. It needs our convictions now. So here is what my pledge is to you. My pledge is to you that from now to November, I will spend every day fighting for our state. I will spend every day fighting for what we believe in. I will take our message to every corner of this state. Because here's what I believe. You know, you hear all the time, you hear people say, oh, we need more solutions in Washington, D.C. Can I just tell you the truth? There aren't solutions in Washington, D.C. I've been there. I'm like, there aren't solutions here. The solutions for our country are right here. right here in this room. The hope for our country is right here in this room. The salvation of our country will come from the faith, from the courage, from the boldness, from the goodness that's right here in this room. That's what we're fighting for. I just want to say to you that you represent the best of America. You represent the hope of America and the future of America. So, here's my proposition to you. Let's come together. Let's stand together. Let's fight together. And together, let's save our country. God bless you. God bless the great state of Missouri. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you for being here.